got the signals for the Baltimore Colts. Unitas gives to Amici. The Colts are the world champions. Amici scores.
It's amazing, sensational, dramatic, heart-rending, exciting, thrilling finish in the history of college football. California won the big game. 5 seconds left in the game. Do you believe in miracles? Yes.
This is Phil Steele.
This is Mike Burnham.
This is Wes Durham.
This is Mike Ashley.
Hi, this is Chuck Foreman, number 44 of the Minnesota Vikings.
Woo, mercy, this is handsome Jimmy Vine, the Boogie Woogie Man.
This is Coach Fry with Virginia Tech Football, and you are listening to Big Dog Sports Talk.
Are you ready to rock? Are you ready to roll? Okay, let's do it.
You're in the doghouse with Rick Watson on Big Dog Sports Talk, presented by Pulaski County Sports and Entertainment. Join us in the Family Fencing Studios and chime in on the McClellan Chiropractic chat line. He's keeping cool with help from Little River Heating and Air, but this show is straight fire. And now, the big dog, Rick Watson.
Oh my, oh no, oh no, that was out of nowhere. Oh.
Good morning. Happy Halloween. It's also my birthday this morning. See how we have the little Halloween decor on the side? We're just going to leave that up today, unless it becomes a distraction, and I'll get rid of it. How's everybody doing? Coming up, Will Stewart from Tech Sideline at 7 o'clock. Also coming up, Mike Ashley. He'll have his open mic session. And then Jen the Gamecock Girl. Join us, won't you? Good morning to everybody. Good morning, Stephen. Good morning, Paul. Hope everybody's doing okay, wherever you might be. The long week. For a lot of reasons that many of you already know about. So I won't rehash those, but a lot of travel coming up, a lot of things happening. So hopefully today will go swimmingly. That's our desire anyway. I want to thank Family Fencing, our studio sponsor, 540-200-8294. They are going to be working throughout the winter with your fencing needs. Be sure to give them a yell. Mark Hunley, McClellan Chiropractic, really give him a yell. He will straighten you out quickly. Sponsor of our chat room, does a terrific job. Professional Door Incorporated, our text line's 540-391-0788, sponsored by Professional Door Incorporated. We've been telling you they're right up there by New River Community College, and they need people. So just walk in, ask for Travis Williams. They do garage doors better than anybody. He wants to train you. He wants to give you a brand new career, starting out at $20 per hour. Folks, if you want a job, need a job, go check out Professional Door Incorporated. Do it. Thanks to National Bank member FDIC, exclusive banking partner of BDST here on YouTube. Been with them for 35 years. So thrilled for Lara Ramsey, the new president. The attorney Ryan Pry, and we fell under 50%, Ryan, 701 West Main Street. He's the sponsor of our BDST fan question of the week, and it ended up at 47% think the games are legitimate we're watching. So that means over half of you believe that what we're watching sports-wise is not real because of gambling, point shaving, officials maybe on the take. Little River Heating and Air, 1095 Radford Street, they're never on the take. 540-553-2971. And Pulaski County Sports and Entertainment, thanks to Jonathan Sweet. All the communities around are going to have great trick-or-treating and things like that. And I'm sure Pulaski County is going to have it done to the T. So we thank them for all of their wonderful help and sponsorship. Hey, Tina, how are you? Happy Halloween. Good morning, Jimmy. Thank you for the birthday wishes. I want to thank Lawson's Mobile Home. Give James Lawson a call, 300 North Franklin Street in Christiansburg, 540-381-8011. And tonight, by the way, is Boogie Bowling over at the Super Bowl. Go tell him you heard us talking about it. You can get 8 buds over there. It's $5 a piece, $40, 9 to 11. Give them a call. Reserve your lane, 382-5525. If I didn't have to work and travel, things like that, I would have planned that a long time ago. So that sounds like a lot of fun. And go buy your next vehicle at Harvey's GM. Why not end October on a high note and go buy yourself a brand new vehicle? All right. So we have a lot to get to. Man, oh, man, the Professional Door Incorporated text line blowing up. Is this not happening now with James Franklin? I didn't answer most of you. Nothing new. This is par for the course. Just stay calm. I will share a text with you that I received because I was getting so many messages. I just asked the question, and I'll share that with you in just a second, okay? In case you missed it last night, Scott Woodward, the embattled AD at LSU, has been terminated. Just a couple of days after the governor went off on him and the whole organization down there, and he would not be involved in the football hire, Scott Woodward is gone as the director of athletics at LSU. I don't know what they have created down there, but my goodness, the governor kind of neutered him. And I don't know, there's so much going on behind the scenes, so much sword fighting. I don't know how you're going to look at this situation and think that a quality coach, a reputable coach is going to say, yeah, I want to jump headfirst into that. Is that the kind of place Jimbo Fisher just dives back into? I mean, my goodness. Unbelievable. So LSU now has kind of fallen down a little bit in terms of the job attractiveness, I would think. Now, is he a great AD? No. There's an immense amount of failures. We talked about all the money that is owed out in buyouts from coaches that he hired and failed. But I think what's happening at LSU is 100% the embodiment of the word show. By the way, I'm a YouTube TV subscriber, and they have lost the rights to ESPN, or they haven't gotten renegotiated ahead of college football weekend. So there's a big battle going on. And this is intentional by Disney and ABC and ESPN because they want people to sign up for their hideous overpriced bundle. So what they've done is they've stopped negotiating at the end of these contracts. It's going to happen on all carriers. Paul says, right, people are worried about Witt. But what a mess LSU has become. Yeah, they have really hurt themselves. This whole thing is just, I mean, I know you go down there and make a lot of money. You're going to be in the SEC. But now you're going to have to find, you talk about a limited pool. You are really going to have to find the right dude now to come in there at LSU. Thanks, Troy. Thanks, man. Happy Halloween to you. Thanks for the birthday wish. I almost wish you a happy birthday, Troy. It's just bizarre how that's unfolded down there. Look, the Witt situation is bad. I'm with everybody 100% about all that. I can't imagine he's going to be there too much longer after they get the new football coach name. But, boy, LSU is taking it to a different level. All right, let me read the text to you. Let me just calm people down. Act people on the text line. Wait, what was the text? What was the text? I asked specifically, I'd let everybody know. About the concerns people have. Just because we're not hearing anything doesn't mean things are going on. There's no rush for James Franklin to do anything. You know, right now he's getting $50 million. Let's see here. Let me find it here. I have to go back because there was a lot. There was a whole lot of stuff. All right, here you go. So this is specifically from the source that I told you. Franklin doesn't have anything going on other than the ongoing talks with Virginia Tech. He's not a candidate at LSU in Florida. Could Auburn become something that's interesting? Maybe. And we've said that for a while now. So it made me feel good. We've kind of said that for a while. Arkansas would intrigue him, but he realizes Virginia Tech is a much better job giving its conference affiliation. This is what we've talked about. He dangled the idea of talking to UCLA, but that's a mess. So he's not going to do that. He's not a candidate at Oklahoma State in any way, shape, or form. And the point is, and this is what I'm trying to remind people, he's got $50 million coming his way. He's not a candidate anywhere else. He is not a candidate anywhere else. I don't know how to tell you that. Now, does that mean Jimmy Sexton's not going to try to leverage things? Maybe. But right now, Virginia Tech is the only school that wants James Franklin. So he's not just going to be able to go out and leverage them because there's nobody else that's got him on their radar. I'm going to trust this source because it's always been right. Good morning, Opal. Thank you for the birthday wishes. Thank you. So that's where we are. No need to panic. He knows that as much as his ego would like to tell him he's up for 7 or 8 jobs, and as much as Jimmy Sexton would like to be able to go to Tech and say, hey, if you don't take him, this school over here is going to get him. Well, no, he's not a candidate there. His reputation in coaching circles, now, is it going to be a good hire for Tech? Yes. But his reputation in coaching circles is not great. Do I think he can come in and change around the whole thing at Tech? Absolutely. Talent-wise, immediately it's going to change. He needs a really good staff to come into Blacksburg. And I think he'll get that. But, everybody's acting like, oh, if we don't get him, boy, they've got 9 or 10 schools. I just read you the text. Nobody else has him on the radar. Nobody. Hey, thanks, Coach Elmation. Appreciate you. Here's Coach Elmation. And I talked to Coach about his text when he texted. He goes, LSU's fired every coach they had. Charlie McClendon, Jerry Stovall, Mike Archer, Jerry DiNardo, Les Miles, who won a natty, Ed Orgeron, who won a natty, Brian Kelly, Saban got out, Arnsberger got out. Bad job. Yeah, it's a bad job. Thanks, Coach. He was there. Coach Elmation was there. I don't know who takes that job. I don't. You might have – are they going to be – is John Sumrall, is it going to be somebody like that who just is at a group of 5 and looks at this as a massive payday and is one shot in glory in the SEC? Tina says he must not be that good for the bigger schools not to want him. I think it's just where it's falling on the cycle, Tina. You know how I keep saying that Penn State went forward with this? It should be a bit of a red flag as to why they just had people immediately wanting to help them eat the $50 million buyout that quickly after he was in the national playoff last year. There are what they'll call reasons. People around the profession know those reasons. Virginia Tech's new to the James Franklin thing. And that might be some of the things they're vetting right now just to find out. I would ask those questions if I'm Tech. We're putting all this on Tech to kind of lure Franklin. Well, why doesn't Tech step back and go, okay, let's talk about this? I would bring him in and ask. Coach Elmo, let me know, right? If you sat him down. So, Coach, why do you believe Penn State decided to do this when they did? What are your thoughts about where that program was headed and what happened in only a year's time when you're in the playoff? You're picked number 3 in the country to start. You go out, and it was controversial, but you lost to Oregon. Your team quit on you out in Los Angeles against a horrible UCLA team. Then you lose a home game to Northwestern. They quit on you. What happened? If you're the buyer, it's not just, hey, we got to go get this guy. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. Well, Tech needs to make sure they get this right themselves. They can't just jump into this thing like, oh, it's James Franklin. He's a name. Boy, let's give him whatever he wants. Let's give Jimmy Sexton however much money he wants. You're going to have to ask some questions. There should be some red flags there. Right? So let's just see how it plays out. There's vetting on both sides, as there should be. As there should be. This is a major, maybe the most important football hire Tech's ever made. They made the best decision, the best non-decision, Dave Brain, when he didn't fire Frank Beamer. So now this is the best, most important hire that they could make. Right? Yeah, Matt Rule signed an extension yesterday with Nebraska. And they've got the buyout stuff worked in there to where he could end up making over $70 million if he's fired without cause just because they want to get rid of him. Thanks, Knicks fan. Appreciate you, brother. Doesn't feel like my birthday with everything going on. My fiance losing her mom and having to get out of town. All these things, it's just, but it's life. Everybody goes through it. My situation's not any tougher than anybody else's. Everybody experiences things in their life. So this isn't a woe is me. I don't want anybody to ever think that I'm doing that. It's never a woe is me but everybody's got stuff, man. The things come at you pretty quickly, and we do the best we can to get through it. And being with you helps me a lot. It does. It does. But yeah, Matt Rule now is with Nebraska. And I don't think Penn State fan cares. I don't think there was anybody in Happy Valley excited. We kept hearing that connection because he's really tight with the AD, and that's where he's from and all this. I do not believe 1 second that any Penn State fan is upset now that Matt Rule is off the table. But keep in mind that in his last contract extension with Baylor, he signed a 4-year extension, and then like 2.5 months later, he was the head football coach at Carolina with the Panthers. But I didn't see that being something that Penn State fan would fist pump over. I mean, I saw his record is worse than Franklin's against ranked teams. Paul says, Wayne said you have a great costume on today. Did I miss Wayne's comment? He's probably right. He's probably right. Cougars, man, made the Cougars get a win for me tonight against Patrick Henry. That would be a birthday miracle. What are they, undefeated, right? PH undefeated? Aren't they number one? Aren't they the number one seed in their in the region right now? PH? Pretty sure they're undefeated. Check me on that, Troy. Is that right? Nah, no, Paul. It's all good fun, brother. That's fun, man. Do you like the Halloween border, by the way? You see that right there? Isn't that cool? They just dropped that in as an option today. No, one loss. It's the same thing with Ryan Silverfield. He bounced his team back. Tulane will bounce back too. That's a tough place to play last night where they played. San Antonio, that place is tough. So no, I don't. He's done enough down there that one loss won't. But let's see how they finish up now. Let's see if they bounce back. Memphis bounced back in a huge way. So I'm not going to let one game. That guy's stock is pretty high right now. Yes, PH is undefeated. That's what I thought. And they're the top seed, I think, right now if the playoffs started today. I think they've beaten the county, 5 straight times? Is that right? Is that 5 straight? Oof. So, yes, that would be a nice little birthday boost, but I'm not going to count on it. High school football was last night. It's tonight. And I hope everybody has like a fun time at the game. Like tonight should be a fun thing. It's Halloween. kids can dress up and have a great time, have candy giveaway, just something to make it fun. I hope people don't take it in a different direction, right? I will, Opal. Thank you so much. It means a lot. I will let her know. I will let her know. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Jimmy says UTSA won last night wearing black uniforms, white helmets, and a Roadrunner logo in black. So in other words, they got rid of their entire school colors and they wore black and white. Well, I couldn't watch because right now YouTube TV has lost their ESPN ABC deal. So they're negotiating whatever. World Series resumes tonight. Blue Jays trying to come back, win 3 in a row, and close that thing out against the Dodgers. I've never pulled for a Canadian team so hard in my life. Red and the border, cool. See the little witch's hat? You got some bones going. You got some eyeballs, candy, you got bats. I wish it would be like the Universal monsters. I wish we had like Wolfman and stuff like that. That'd be really cool. That'd be really cool. Text line. Happy birthday, safe travels. By the way, Dollar General stock boy is on his way to Baton Rouge. Yeah, that might be the case. Where's Morris this morning? You think Morris had too much pre-Halloween celebration last night? Thanks, Steven. Appreciate that, man. It means a lot. Yeah, you are family. Yeah, it's not just a cliche. I mean, you are the audience, and we share a lot of things. And I come on here. I'm on camera now. Decided to make this move. It's become successful. By the way, please subscribe. Those of you who are still watching, the new audiences that we welcome in over the last, what is now a week since we were promoted nationally, and now people have stayed and so forth. Thank you. Subscribe to the channel, like and share. Remember, it's free. Trying to get to 1,000. Spread the word. If one of you who is subscribed gets one other person that you know to do it, then we'll be there in a heartbeat. Thanks, Brian. Appreciate you, man. Happy Halloween to you. Don't go trick or treating in your birthday suit. Well, no promises. Depends on how many Halloween nectars I may have had. Oh, that's right. Morris going to China. Was that yesterday? That's right. He's going to Japan. He was going to Japan, and he's going to try to get the show and get subscribers in Japan. That would be great. That would be awesome. Thanks, Rodney. Appreciate you. Thanks, Tootie. Yeah, I don't think anybody would want to see that, Opal. Just out there, my tinny pumps. Does anybody like? It's Friday night. Halloween is falling on a Friday night into Saturday. Is anybody going to any parties? Like, is there a big Halloween bag? Like tonight would be the night you could get away with it. Tonight would be the night that you could go, right? And you could dress up, watch horror movies. Thank you, Louise. Also sponsor for Mike Burnham on this program. Thank you so much, Louise. We love you, Louise. I love you, Louise. I really do. Thank you, Louise. Louise Baker from the Louise Baker team. Maybe we should get hired to find James Franklin his new house when he gets here. But tonight should be it. You know, if your life is at a point to where you could do it, you should go and have a Halloween party. Like tonight could be a costume party. But I hope at the high school games, you could create a fun thing to get the student body involved. If you got out ahead of it and have kids there wearing their costumes, and that'd be fun, man. That's what it's supposed to be like. Doesn't always have to be turned into something negative. Celebrate All Hallows Eve All-time favorite movie is still Halloween, the original Halloween. Love it. I have yet to watch it, and it'll probably be delayed a bit, but I'll still watch it. I may watch it early next week. Maybe Sunday night when I return. Scary, finally Friday, big dog, happy birthday. Rick's dressed like a YouTube influencer. I am. Am I an influencer? It's chilly down here today. What the hell is the temperature? It's 40 degrees. Feels like 30. That's why. Yeah, it's a little brisk down here. Well, to Wayne's credit, though, Paul, he did send me a birthday text really early today, so he's already been up. So what he did, I guess I was on his mind. That's pretty scary when he woke up. Wished me happy birthday, and then he went back to bed. But in case you missed it, Scott Woodward, the AD, is gone. And also, in case you missed it, Matt Rule is no longer a candidate at Penn State because he signed an extension with Nebraska, much to the relief of Penn State fan. Wayne, I don't tell Carol that. She'll, I mean, what's going to happen to her and my relationship with her if she knows you're dreaming about me? So I don't know what Penn State's going to do. I mean, Marcus Freeman's not going anywhere. He's basically telling everybody what I said here last week. I'm at Notre Dame. What do you have that I don't have? I'm sorry. That's just the way it is. I'm at freaking Notre Dame. I'm at a program, the only program in the country that's bigger than the whole system. And they love me here. And I'm doing a good job here. I have turned into a head coach when I wasn't at Notre Dame. They've allowed me to grow as a head coach, which is what he said to Florida. He knew there'd be some bumps early, right? That guy's recruiting. He's embraced the portal. And he's done a hell of a job. He has. And so he's looking at these people going, I'm at Notre Dame. Why would I want to jump into any SEC fire? Why would I want to do that? And he's 100% correct. And Notre Dame, I think, is going to make sure that I don't know what his deal looks like. Joseph, you're an Irish fan. What's his deal look like? But I guarantee you, if you guys finish strong in the playoff, he's going to be taken care of. She's good with it. She prefers I don't bother her anymore. Telling you, and I don't want anybody to think, hey, I'm a jet setter. I'm going to tell you this because I'm a jet setter. I've been to, I can say it, every major school in the country. When you walk around the campus at South Bend, you get a little tingle. When you're walking through the old locker room and when you're able to walk down the tunnel and you hit the play like a champion today, and you see the statues and the old buildings, and you go walk around their Hall of Fame, and then you walk out of the tunnel onto that field, although the field should not be plastic, it should be back to the grass. That's the one thing they've done wrong. They never should have went plastic. That's a different place. That's a different place. We've played up there twice, Radford. Beat them once. Actually, we beat them twice, but the officials wouldn't let us the second time. But Yeah, that's different. It's different there. If you haven't been, you can get tours of the football facilities and go through the locker. You should go. If you're around that area and you're a college football fan, you should go to South Bend. Yeah. Hey, Phil and Mandy, thank you. The original Peep and Peepette. Phil and Mandy Martinez. You talk about two awesome people. We've been together a long time. Freeman's salary is $9 million with a bonus. Oh, well, he's going to cash in on all this. Then he's going to go up to that $12 to $15 million range at the next opportunity if they, make a play here coming up. Let's see. Let's check out that. Now that we're talking about them, why don't we look up the Irish, shall we? And I know you already know all this. Joseph, 5-2, number 12 in the country. They're going to beat BC tomorrow. They'll beat Navy. Now, Navy's 7-0. It's a great game, but they usually can't break through against Notre Dame. I'll say that's another dub. That's 7-2. Ooh, going to Pitt now. Watch out. Panthers are pretty good. Andy Bitter referenced it yesterday. You're going to beat Syracuse, and then you'll beat Stanford. So probably need to win out to make sure, but you're looking at what? 6-2, 7-2, 9 wins probably guaranteed, and then the X factor might be that Pitt game. And before everybody yells about their schedule, remember they play 5 ACC games, so BC's not their choice. Syracuse and Stanford not their choice. That's just the way it fell with the ACC schedule. So if he wins all those, Notre Dame will be in the playoff, and he's going to get a massive extension. I mean, he's already turned down Florida. He's already said no to LSU. He'd just gotten out of the way early. He got an extension last year. Well, they'll tear that up, and they'll do something else if they really want to keep him. Those extensions and all that stuff. The whole rule thing makes no sense to me. I don't know why Nebraska would have been so eager. I mean, he's done okay, I guess, at Nebraska. He hasn't turned Nebraska around. They're not a power. They're still a middling Big Ten team. He's got a horrible record against ranked teams. He's a lot like James Franklin. Although James Franklin had elevated the recruiting talent at Penn State to where they were, right after Ohio State and Michigan. It was Penn State. Nebraska's what, like 8, 9, 10 range of that league? And now they're married to Matt Rule, and they've got this horrible buyout that they're tied into now. So they're going to be their guy, man. I just think they overreacted. They overcorrected. I don't think he's that hot of a commodity. Maybe at Penn State he would have been. I think that would have been a tough sell, though, in Happy Valley. Not that people, and I check it out, people, they just didn't like James Franklin. There's nobody saying, even with the lack of candidates out there, nobody's saying they want him back. And that's what I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. And I read the text. He's not a candidate anywhere else but at Blacksburg. No need to rush. From MCO in Orlando to YYZ in Toronto and then HND in Tokyo, BDST is on the air. Mass communication, spooky. Oh, I hope Morris can chime in when he's in Japan. Morris, do you speak Japanese? Because if you do, it'd be great to get some conversation going about the show with some of the local folks there. Now, was it 3 years ago? 2 years ago. Radford basketball played on a tour in Japan when we had Ibu Yamazaki. Great kid. Great kid. No, he is not a candidate at FSU. They don't want any part of James Franklin. That's was part of the text that I read earlier. Yeah. There's only one job that would sway him into maybe signing this contract that they're close to finishing. And that job is down at Auburn, also currently filled by a Jimmy Sexton client, Hugh Freeze. So we shall see what happens there. Sexton usually negotiates deals with more money at the end of the deal that's tied into a buyout. So that's what he's probably working on as well with Tech. But the one thing that I got out of this text is this, and this is true. I saw people post this, and this is correct. I'm trying to say this the right way because I don't want to just, degrade his character. I think James Franklin would come to Virginia Tech for no more than 3 years if he rebuilt his reputation, unless he just fell in love with it here. And then he might use that to parlay it back into a premier league. People have told me he's got that kind of personality. Would he use Tech as a stepping stone? This is all speculation. We don't know. Some of the things that I've gotten from people around Power 4 is that's kind of how he is. So we'll see. But Tech has taken 2 swings. Whit Babcock, let's don't say Tech. Whit Babcock has taken 2 swings and he's missed badly. That's why they're going so hard after Franklin, because this is not going to be a swing and the miss. This is going to be good for Tech in a lot of different ways. Morris says, hell no, I have trouble with English. But he has the ear pods that translate. What a great, great invention. He's going to give it a shot. All right, let me know. I'm excited to find out, man. If we can take Japan by storm, man. Tokyo, you think they'd put the BDST logo on the big signage there downtown Tokyo? Kind of looks like New York City downtown. Boy, if you can pull that off, Morris. And underneath in Japanese, BDST at YouTube is on the air. That's probably a very apt comparison, Troy. Franklin would be Buzz Williams all over again. Yeah. Yes. Yes. Yeah, his daughter, Paul, may play into it. I don't know. I mean, my youngest son just started his college journey. I mean, they're now adults. I mean, she wanted to go to Penn State. She won't now. Let's put it this way. I don't think if he comes to Tech, I don't think it's his final destination. This isn't a final, I'm going to retire in Blacksburg scenario. No, he'll have a lot of nonsensical quotes. Franklin will. SWV to Texas. I just canceled my YouTube TV. College football was the only reason I had it. Well, I think they're probably, I hope you didn't cancel it for nothing, because these usually get done in the 12th hour of these deals. I'm not really panicking. Yeah, Disney did all this. This is all intentional, by the way, by Disney. See, they're going to do this with every carrier they're on because they want you to subscribe to this hideous overpriced bundle that they keep advertising. It's all part of the thing. Screw the customer, take advantage of the customer who has to have football. Go buy this now. So the YouTube thing will probably last throughout the weekend, though. Yeah, you're probably right. You're probably right about that. People still asking about Jeff King. No, I don't think so. See, about the GM position. You never say never, but see, now they've got it right. They've got the chronological order right. It took them a while. It took them to get agents going, what are you doing? You can't have a GM and then have some coach that is successful somewhere else come in and be your guy. That doesn't make any sense. So Tech went, yeah, you're right. So the head coach is going to bring in his own GM. If it's James Franklin, he's going to bring in the guy that's been with him for every year he's been a head coach, who was with him at Vanderbilt and was with him at Penn State. So unless a coach has a prior relationship with Jeff King, then no. Very true. You can always renew. Yes, you can. But that means you're likely going to go out and buy this new bundle, right? Or subscribe to another service. So I don't know how, maybe you can work it out to get it free for a month or cheap for a month. I don't know. But we'll see. We'll see. But no, I don't think Jeff King is – and he could be. But if Tech were appointing the position ahead of time, then, yeah, he would have been a viable candidate, sure, if he wanted to do that. But I always have to add that, you know what, we can't just automatically assume other people's intentions. I mean, we don't know. I mean, he's in with the Bears. He's in the NFL. He's in the most successful sports entity of business that's ever existed. And he's trying to learn and climb the ladder. I just think it's a step down for him. Why would you want to jump into the chaos of college athletics? Disney Plus bundle gets you ESPN Plus when you can watch me. Yeah, boy, there's some incentive. But yeah, if it's James Franklin, which, by the way, I can just sit here and tell you I still think it's going to be. I think that's the best way to try to answer all the text messages I got yesterday on the text line. Brought to you by Professional Door. Then he's going to bring in his guy, and that's the way it should be. That's the way it is everywhere else. First thing I heard, well, one of the first things I heard when we hired Zach Chu as our new basketball coach was he has his GM pre-selected, and he had to make sure that before he signed his name on the contract, I want to bring my guy in here. That's how important that is to coaches. So, no, unless he has a relationship with Jeff and wants him to come in, then the new coach will have his own guy. Yeah. I don't know what Penn State's going to do. A lot of people asking on the Professional Door text line. They've kind of pigeonholed themselves, but their situation, they're quiet, though. That AD made his move, and they've stayed out. They haven't done anything. Here's my dark horse for Penn State, Dan Mullen. I'm going to throw out dark horse candidates at places from things that I hear. These aren't predictions, but let's see if Dan Mullen gets involved with Penn State. He was born in New Hampshire. Penn State, I think, was his dad's alma mater. Matter of fact, I think his dad had season tickets. I know he loves Vegas. He wasn't going to come to Virginia Tech from Vegas, but he would probably consider Penn State. Are you ready for this? Call me crazy. You ready? Are you ready? Don't rule out Lane Kiffin for Florida State. I'm just saying, don't rule it out. Because much like James Franklin, you got to admit, now that border looks pretty cool right there, doesn't it? Don't you like the border? See the Halloween spooky border? Isn't that nice? Where did I go? For some reason, I have disappeared here. Can anybody see me? I don't know what happened. Let's see here. I may have to go out and get back in again. There we go. Okay, never mind. Got a little confused there. It's been a tough week. Vegas and Blacksburg are essentially the same place, right? Kiffin to the swamp? Don't think so. Maybe. Don't never say never. What's up, Jen? Oh, I'm here. I shall not be exiting until later, so I'm here. Happy birthday, she says. Thank you, Jen. Love you, Jen. First time caller, long time listener. Yeah. All I'm saying is, keep an eye on those two predictions. No, I'm sorry, they're not predictions. Keep an eye on those two scenarios. Lane Kiffin's got the world at his fingertips right now. He's just sitting there going, wow. Where's Mississippi? Is that Oxford? Is that right? Is that where they are? He's got Mississippi wanting to probably extend him for 20 years. He's got Florida. He's got LSU drooling. He's got Penn State knocking on his door. Woo! He can do anything he wants right now. But he just got back with his wife, and she has a connection to Tallahassee. Just saying, keep an eye. That job's not open, so the reason you're not here to talk about is it's not open. It is open, but it's not officially open. 3 jobs that are going to come open. Michigan State, that was a disastrous hire. Auburn and Florida State. And people will always say, how does Florida State have the money? The Seminole Casino down there, the Seminole Indian tribe, is heavily invested in what goes on. Coach Bowden used to talk about it on my show. The great Bobby Bowden. They are heavily invested. You know why you never hear controversy? You know, all this crap, all this political correctness, it's just ridiculous about nicknames. We had to take care of Redskins and get them out of there because some white guy was offended. We had to get Cleveland Indians out of there. You know why you never hear the Seminoles there? Because they sponsor the university. They want Seminole tribe to be associated. They take pride. That's a real Seminole Native American running out there on a horse, putting his spear in the ground. It's part of their culture. They have a lot to say about what goes on, and they have got a tugboat full of cash. Right? So Florida State's going to do something. Mike Norvell's done. What do they got? Let's look at their schedule. Let's look at Florida State here. Who do they have this weekend? They got Wake Forest. Better watch that game. Wake Forest, man. Man, they nail the head coaches there, don't they? Every time. Wake Forest, they go to Clemson. Virginia Tech. Better watch out for Philip Montgomery. They go to NC State. Dave Dorn, by the way, might be on the way out. And then Florida. So it's not daunting on paper, but we'll see what Florida State does. Remember, Florida State enters the game Saturday night against Wake Forest on a 4-game losing streak. Whew. Whew. Wow. Unless they win out, no chance. Mike Norvell's coming back. And Lane Kiffin knows it. It's the same mindset as James Franklin. He's getting his head beat in. He's built, however he's done it, and who cares because it's the SEC. He's got a terrific program. He is a brilliant offensive mind. There's a reason Nick Saban had to have him. He's got the charisma. He's got everything you're looking for. And like James Franklin, he wants to be in a league with an easier path to the playoff. And if his wife wants Tallahassee and he's trying to rekindle things, I'm just saying. Morris says, sitting here thinking MCO airports, especially with lawyers, gives you a feeling of being homeless. Similar. Yeah, I don't like sitting in. I'm going to have to do it, but I don't. Sitting in airports, I hate that vibe. I hate that whole feeling. Yeah. Exactly, David. Kiffin to FSU isn't a bad bet. Much easier path to the playoff and out of the weekly slug list. Now, that's not a prediction. I'm just telling you to keep an eye on some smoke there once that job comes up. But Kiffin doesn't have to do anything. Why does he have to do anything? Isn't Sexton his agent too? I mean, he's just sitting around going, there aren't enough coaches to fill these jobs. Everybody wants me. Right? Must be nice to be – it's like Jen, right? When Jen shows up somewhere, she's the belle of the ball. Right now, Lane Kiffin's the belle of the ball. He can go anywhere he wants. And the Fighting Monties. Yeah, I tell you what, man. We all just kind of looked at the Virginia Tech Florida State game before the year. Oh, that's a loss. Better watch out. She says, ha ha, I wish. Trust me, Jen, you are. You and Lane right now living the same life. You and Lane having the same reality. Will Stewart going to join us here momentarily, and then Mike Ashley, and then the aforementioned Jen the Gamecock Girl. Nick Saban will not be coaching next year. I believe he'll talk to LSU. He might try to talk to LSU and go, all right, I don't know what the hell's going on down here. I won you a natty. I helped take you to a different level. All right. I'm happy getting on here with these bozos at ESPN, running my mouth about nonsense, complaining about the way college sports are when I was down there letting the Alabama Mafia buy players left and right. I act like things are so out of whack now. I mean, I was the beneficiary of it. I won 7 national titles. All right. But what the hell's going on down here? I mean, he'll never take that job. Never. Kiffin's like the prom queen, just enjoying all the attention lab. Yeah, he knows every day he's making more money. Hey, Jen, who does Ole Miss play Saturday? He's probably going to make more money after Saturday's result. By the way, they're playing South Carolina. They've got the Gamecocks on Saturday down in Oxford. Yeah, you know what? The thing about it, I think the only job he would have considered would have been LSU. But now, because I had heard that they might like say, hey, we're going to throw coach $20 million a year, come back for a few years. Whew. The only thing, since that thing is in such chaos and now they don't have an AD since he was fired last night, I don't know what his relationship is with the governor. He would be in complete charge of that entire athletic department. Maybe you could hire Nick Saban as the head coach and the new athletic director. That wouldn't be a bad idea. Right? Whew. But I don't think he has any interest in it. I don't think he did before. And now I certainly don't think he does. He might talk to some people down there, though, some of the boosters, the business people that he got to know that he's known. Right? Paul says, what do you mean? Lane has another year until he divorces his wife and finds a 23-year-old to date again. Oh, wait a minute. I'm sorry. You mean Saban? Miss Terry, I think, is the leader of that household. So I don't think that's ever happening. Rodney, what's up, Hot Rod? All the folks in South Carolina are not looking forward to Saturday. Yeah. Heat's pretty heavy on Shane Beamer. I wish I would have been wrong, but I'm not surprised. Told you after the Tech game something wasn't right. All you had to do was watch the Tech game. Yeah, Nick would be the head coach, AD, and GM, and everybody down in Baton Rouge would go, yes. We are here for it. 100%. I mean, they need something down there. They need some direction. That's just bizarre. Scott Woodward is out, by the way. It's the AD down at LSU. He won natties with the coaches that he hired, women's basketball and so forth. But he's also cost the university $53 million. People are it's weird. It's just strange. Where we are in college athletics, it's chaos, it's madness, it's professional sports, it's all the things that's wrong with sports and being really led by college football. But my, oh my. It is again, if we think the Tech, somebody made the point in chat a minute ago, if you think the Tech situation's a little chaotic with Wise Witt still there, you can't even compare that to what's going on in Baton Rouge. That is just what's happened there over the last 48 hours is unprecedented, and I don't know what they do. I really don't for a head coach. Mike Ashley in just a little bit. Jen a little later with our picks. Good to have her in chat early this morning. And it's always good to have Will Stewart on with us here from Tech Sideline, if we can get him up here. Things have not been working as well as they used to do in the studio. Let's see here. I'm trying to add you to the stage, Will, but it will not allow me to do that. And I don't know why. There we go. Well, on. Where am I? Let's see here. There. Man, this thing's been funky all day. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's because it's Halloween, but the whole StreamYard thing has been weird. I've had to reboot it like 6 times before the show, but we're good now. Looks like we're good now.
Wow, that's kind of frightening.
Yeah.
We used to do our podcast live, and it could get a little
it's a little hairy. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What's going on, man? How are you? What are you doing for Halloween?
Nothing. I usually sit in the house and drink and scare the kids when they come to the door.
When's the last time you like dressed up and put on a costume for Halloween?
I don't know. I think I was in college. No, I'm not a Halloween guy.
Yeah. I have to be
what?
because I'm tied to it because it's my birthday. I can't get away from it.
Happy birthday and happy Halloween.
Thank you.
That explains a lot.
Yeah, it really does. Hell, I thought I was a goblin till I was 12 years old. So yeah. All right. So yeah, there you go.
Here's what I'm reading these days.
Hey, that's the new omnibus, right?
Tomb of Dracula. It's surprisingly good.
Oh no, those are great books, man. Those are great books.
Yeah, a lot of that 70s stuff is not good, but that's actually good.
That's good. It's actually really good. All right, so what's going on, man? What's the latest? First of all, let's just get away from the coaching thing. Because this whole thing has hit the different thing. There you go. Brought to you by. What's going on with it? With any new update on how that thing might end up in the next month or so?
Wit is so we heard in late September and early October. We heard that. Are you still there, Rick? Okay.
Yeah, I am.
Late September and early October, we heard that Witt's departure from Virginia Tech was going to be announced October 9th. There was a specific date on it. And
correct.
October 9th came and went. And somebody told us probably a week or two ago that the announcement was going to come. It was imminent. No announcement. So there's absolutely nothing going on with Witt Babcock. And he is helping the committee out with the search because Witt's a guy that's got some experience dealing with agents and
sure,
I'm sure he's got plenty of experience dealing with Jimmy Sexton, who is the guy.
The guy, yes.
I bet Jimmy's reached a point where he talks about himself in the third person,
just like Seinfeld. Jimmy wants this. Jimmy wants this for James Franklin.
Oh, Jimmy doesn't think James Franklin should sign with Virginia Tech. Not yet. Jimmy says
Jimmy's gonna draw this out.
Oh, Jimmy says if James stays in the market, then it makes everybody else make more money. That's what Jimmy thinks.
That's what Jimmy wants.
Hang on, let me do a little adjustment here.
That's good stuff.
Yeah, Jimmy in the third person. I love it.
Jimmy in the third person. Will Stewart joining us from Tech Sideline. Yeah. I feel like that situation is going to take care of itself when this hire is finalized and all that, but we'll see. People were a little upset because of the way it was worded. David Teal was talking about how, once the committee says this is our guy, Witt's on that final say committee, whatever that means. And I think people were like, wait a minute, you mean Witt's still going to have to approve the coach? Well, no, right? I mean, he's on that. They didn't completely rip him completely out of this whole thing, but it doesn't mean that he's going to have final say, right?
At one point, I think I was told early in the process who the final decision makers would be, that there were 2 or 3 people that would probably Rakovic and Ryan McCarthy and maybe Jay Pearson. But I got to admit, I'm not really on top of that. Clearly, the whole committee's involved and they've all got input, but ultimately, you do have to have a decision maker. And I got to admit, I'm not exactly sure who that is at Virginia Tech, and I don't know how much of a voice Witt will have in that.
Yeah,
I think he's serving a role, but making the decision, I don't think so. That's my take.
Agreed.
Yeah.
So coming out of your podcast, what's the consensus now? Who's the leader in the clubhouse with opinions and so forth? With James Franklin or somebody else that's at the cusp of being the new coach?
Well, there's a reason Franklin's been the topic of discussion this week. It's because the guy they're working on the hardest, all I can tell you is that Virginia Tech's done everything they can do. James Franklin and Jimmy Sexton have certain things they're asking for, and Virginia Tech has addressed all of those, and the ball is in their court now. And I think, it's interesting, Rick. I talked to different people, and some people think that Franklin and his family are sincerely interested and really want this job. Other people think that Jimmy Sexton's playing the committee like a fiddle. It's all everybody's got their own internal filters that they put things through, and some people are cynical and some people are hopeful, and some of these people actually talk to James Franklin, some of them don't, and it's hard to say where all this is going to go, but I think in the end, if Virginia Tech doesn't get James Franklin, I don't think that's Virginia Tech's fault. I think they've done everything they can do. I personally, I'm biased because I'm not in the camp that thinks that Franklin is a surefire home run hire. I think in the short term he is.
Correct. Exactly. That's what. Yes. Yes.
Yeah. He will. They talk about winning the press conference. Franklin wouldn't just win the press conference. He'd win the press conference. He'd win the recruiting trail. He'd win the transfer portal. He'd win the donations. He'd win the fan base. He would win probably hundreds of subscriptions for Tech Sideline. He'd win everything in the short term. How good of a coach would he be at Virginia Tech in the long term? Who knows? But definitely, and I say that I'm biased because hiring James Franklin right out of the gate would be good for my business and good for the mood of the fan base.
Oh, Tech fan would be ecstatic. It would cause a positive, even like if he's not long term, and I don't think he would be long term here. Everybody thinks he's not going to retire here in Blacksburg if he comes here, but he can give it the shot in the arm. 100% agree with you. Next 3 years, however long it would be, to get Tech back up to where they're supposed to be. I believe that 100%, especially with talent level and resources that they have, and prestige, wins. It would happen. That would happen.
National attention.
Correct.
Virginia Tech has been incredibly irrelevant on the national stage.
That's right.
For years now, and that is a hire that would draw attention. Who knows? So one of the more optimistic viewpoints was that he was going to sign the contract this week, and they were going to do the press conference this week. And in that scenario, maybe even if it happens next week, in that scenario, man, you send him on College game day again, and he's wearing Virginia Tech gear, and suddenly you're relevant. Yeah. Now, if you make a different hire, like you hire the guy out of South Florida, Golish, I think is his name, or you hire Bob Chesney out of JMU, those can be good hires. So David Teal, when we did our Talking with Teal segment this week on Wednesday, David made a good point. There's this tendency to really put your eggs in one basket early on. Like, I really like what this hire would look like. But Teal's like, you know what? There's a lot of great coaches out there. There's a lot of coaches that can do really well here.
Yeah.
A guy like Bob Chesney at JMU is one of them. And but no other hire is going to have the national impact and even the impact on the fan base that this one would have right away. And that's why you're kind of getting like Chris Farley and Tommy Boy. You got your little biscuit and you're going like this and you really want it.
Yeah, then you do remember the SNL when he was interviewing Paul McCartney? You remember when you were with the Beatles? So whoever interviews James Frank, remember when you were Vanderbilt and then Penn State? That was awesome.
That was awesome.
Well, I tried to remind people that, and I'd read I won't read it verbatim, but my Big Ten guy who's been money said, look, Franklin doesn't have anything going on right now but Tech. Jimmy Sexton knows this, but he said this. He said, more importantly, Bruce Arians knows this. So Jimmy Sexton's if he is trying to leverage, he's got a guy who already knows exactly how many programs would legitimately Arians.
Okay.
You're going to get snookered.
Now you got to repeat that because you dropped out. I mean, you said how many programs?
Oh, okay. Right now, James Franklin has nothing going on but Tech. Nothing.
Right. Because
he's not a candidate at LSU or Florida. The only other program that might take him is Auburn. Jimmy Sexton knows this, but Bruce Arians knows this.
Yeah.
So Sexton can't come in and blindside Tech because Arians, he already knows who is legitimately potentially interested in Franklin. Right now, it's only one school, and it's Virginia Tech.
Yeah, so it's all a question of does Franklin and does Jimmy Sexton? Does Jimmy want to commit this early?
Does Jimmy want to commit?
Jimmy thinks. Chris Coleman had a on our podcast this week summed it up, but he said, whoever goes first sets the market. So James Franklin goes first. He sets the market for every one of Jimmy Sexton's other clients.
100%.
If you don't know this about Jimmy Sexton, Jimmy's got 50 to 75% of the coaches in college football. He's got something like 16 and 18 coaches in the SEC. This is not just a one-off. Whatever Jimmy in my line this week was, while we're all playing checkers with the Virginia Tech job, Jimmy's playing chess with all of his clients and all of the jobs. And so if Franklin goes first, he sets the market for everybody else. Okay, so let's say Virginia Tech, Franklin was making $8.5 million at Penn State, and let's say Virginia Tech hires him for $10 million. That's like an SEC or a Big Ten school hiring him for 15 to 20 million.
Right.
So there's setting the market and there's setting the market, and that's how you have to interpret that. If you hire James Franklin at 10 million at Virginia Tech, that doesn't mean that the Auburn opening and the LSU opening and the Arkansas opening are all capped at 10 million. That's a huge commitment for Virginia Tech. I think Pry was making $4 million a year when they first hired him, right?
Yeah, right.
4 years later, you put a multiplier of 2.5 on that. So that's setting the market in a way that isn't just a number; it's kind of an order of magnitude.
Well, on the field tomorrow, Louisville comes in, good team. Tech coming off some momentum. Let's go back to Fry. I want to get your thoughts. I mean, they've played so hard every game under Philip Montgomery, and that game went so many different ways. And then that the just horrible officiating, the call, the roughing the passer, all these things that they fought through and still won it. That's twice now he's been able to win games like that. I mean, what'd you think about last Friday, besides being cold?
It was I was ready for it, dude.
You were.
So finally, at my age, I got that part of the process down. So I checked the weather forecast, saw it was getting in the 30s during the game, and I don't mess around anymore. I got the tote full of the clothes that you wear to the cold games. So I pulled that stuff out, man, and I did not even notice the weather. Now the crowd definitely thinned out. Announced attendance was at almost 54,000, and there were a lot of empty seats there. And then as the game went on, it got emptier, except for those crazy guys in the north end zone who all had their shirts off, and that was good stuff.
Shirtless guy, yeah.
And that kind of segues into that was college football at its finest, man. Just the wackiness of it, and Cam Seldon catching the kickoff and running out of bounds on the 1 yard line.
On the 1 yard line, yeah.
Like, what are you doing, man?
Oops.
There are no bad outcomes here. Just let it go. And it'll either go out of bounds and you're on the 35, or it'll go out of the end zone, you're on the 25.
That's
Do
right.
not catch the football in the corner right at the pylon. Don't do that.
Don't do that.
And there was just a bunch of stuff like that. That roughing the passer call on Ben Bell, and I know exactly what that was about. He got into his midsection, and he didn't drive it. He didn't pick him up and drive him into the turf.
No.
In the ref's mind, that's what it looked like. And what really happened was the Cal quarterback, JKS, we call him, because his name is, our podcast host can pronounce his name, but the rest of us can't. What really happened was he kind of hopped when he threw the football as he was going to throw the football, and that's when Bell hit him. It wasn't Ben Bell's fault, that he drove the guy into the turf. So it was just guys back and forth into overtime, and they go into overtime, and the first thing Cal does is they throw a 25-yard touchdown pass, and it's like, oh
yeah,
man.
one play,
and the pessimistic fan is like, it's over. We're gonna lose, and I'm always kind of optimistic in those situations. I'm like, I don't know, you never know what can happen. And Virginia Tech proceeds to. I think that was the one where Kyron had about a 15-yard touchdown run, or maybe that was the second overtime.
Yeah.
I don't really remember it all.
Yeah, I don't either. Yeah.
But you go back and the touchdown run that Kyron had in overtime. I think it was actually the one that won it. You go back and watch that, and the Cal defensive backs by that point, they didn't want to tackle him anymore. And there's number 5 in particular. Are you looking it up?
Huh?
Are you looking it up?
No, I can't remember. No, I'm not. I'm responding to people in chat here as they're asking me questions. So
All right, gotcha. Well, I can't see the chat, by the way.
really? Oh, hang on. You know what? It went off when yeah, here we go. There we
There
go.
you go. Okay.
Yeah, this thing's been funky all day. So we've had to
So
reset
anyway,
it.
there's a lot of back and forth, and man, it's just great college football, man, with the loonies in the stands and all the mistakes and bad officiating and big plays. And when it finally ended and Virginia Tech had won, I wasn't quite as thrilled as I should have been because I felt like it'd been put through the ringer. That was a 4-hour game. That thing started at 7:30 and ended at 11:30.
Yeah, you're right. It was long, very
That was
long.
long, and I pretty much didn't move the whole time, because I don't. I do all my drinking before the game. I don't do any drinking during the game.
Right.
So if somebody brings me a bottle of water, great. But I pretty much stay in the stands these days. So.
Yeah, because well, you do all your drinking before the game, so the first half you're just. What's going on? Can we have the ball?
Hey, how you doing?
You miss all the action.
But no, by the end of it, it's 4 hours. You're like, yay, we won, man. I gotta go home.
That's right. Oh, geez, I'm gonna feel terrible tomorrow morning.
And then you go out in the parking lot, and so I park on Southgate Drive, not in one of the Virginia Tech lots, but if you go past, so if you're driving Southgate Drive and you go past the south end zone, I park behind the second house that's after the south end zone, so I'm kind of in that area, and the traffic management is absolutely hideous down in that area. So we sit there in the backyard of the house we tailgate at, and you look up on Southgate, and there's literally nobody moving for half an hour.
Yeah.
And you're like, well, I know somebody's moving somewhere, but not around here. So another half hour we got to hang around, then another half hour sitting in traffic. And I got home close to 1 a.m. Cry me a river, but
wow.
Still that was kind of a meat grinder, but it was a lot of fun. That's I'll add a caveat to this. That's Virginia Tech's last best chance to win a football game this year. Although looking at UVA gets weaker and weaker every week, and that
Florida State too. Yeah.
Yeah, you could actually go down to Florida State and win that game.
I know.
That was
I think they can.
You put that in the L column at the beginning of the year, but man, that's a weird situation down there where they got a lot of talent and no fire to it. And UVA, Chandler Morris is hurt for UVA. Non-throwing shoulder, and that's gonna be a thing all year. He's just gonna play through that.
Battle through that, yeah.
And UVA's been living on the edge of disaster. They've won some overtime games. If your peeps aren't up to speed, UVA beat Louisville. That's Louisville's only loss. But UVA had less than 250 yards of offense, and they had a pick six for a touchdown, I think, and maybe a fumble return, or they scored 2 non-offensive touchdowns in winning that game. So they've been living on the edge, and it wouldn't surprise me. The rest of UVA's schedule isn't particularly tough, but it wouldn't surprise me if they rolled out there one weekend and somebody just blew them out by 3 or 4 touchdowns. They're kind of looking like that, even though they've got an undefeated ACC record.
They could lose out.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're going to have trouble against California going to the West Coast. I think they're going to have trouble against Wake. I think they're going to lose against Duke, and then they don't beat Virginia Tech. So we'll see. We'll see. But you're right, man. There's a lot of red flags, right? They're winning a lot of close games. That means they're good. They don't panic. They do the things they need to do. But at some point, it's going to catch up to you. So
yeah, it wouldn't surprise me to see it fall apart on them. You say they could lose every remaining game. They could also win. They could win every.
They could. They could win all 4 and go, hey, 11-1. You guys are totally wrong. Let's go. Let's go play for an ACC title. Right. 100%.
Yeah. Yeah, and they've got the tiebreaker over Louisville. They don't play Georgia Tech. I can't remember. There's a bunch of teams with 1 loss. I mean, it's alphabet soup right now. But Georgia Tech looks like the class of the ACC right now.
They do. And Haynes King is just a different player. He's just that guy.
It's just a great offense. They can. When they were under PJ Paul Johnson, they had that option offense, and you knew what you had to prepare for. Now they have a flavor of that, but they can also throw the football. it's, you know, talk to me about this. You ever watch college football and you're like, why doesn't every team do that? You're watching a team, and you're
I
like,
know. Oh, you're right. You're right.
why doesn't every team just do that?
What are we doing?
Like Georgia Tech is they got a quarterback who's good. He's not great. They got this offense. It's impossible to defend. Why doesn't everybody do that? Is it that hard?
I'm with you. I do the same thing.
I think that, you know, and this is a non-coach target. I think the easiest part of coaching is the X's and O's. The hardest part is getting these crazy kids who are 18 to 23 years old to just straighten up and fly right and actually
the execution.
Play football, you know, and they don't do things like get DUIs and drive 90 miles an hour in a 45 zone. That's the hard part of coaching, is building the roster and getting it to behave. You know, actual X's and O's, you know.
It's funny you say that. That's funny. You and I should watch a game together. I do the same thing every week. Like, that's easy. What are they doing? Yeah, I do the same thing.
Look at Georgia Tech's offense and tell me that Kyron Drones, Terrion Stewart, and Marcellus Hawkins wouldn't absolutely destroy teams running that exact same offense. Why are they doing anything other than that?
Phil Mation said the same thing. He said, you know what Phil Mation said on the show? He said, you know, Rick, I got to go work on my Phil Mation version. He thinks Tech has just misused him since he got here. That you can see how Tech, you know, what he can do running. Phil Montgomery's utilizing it, and he needs to run more to be successful as a quarterback. And then, you know, we tried to see that with Bowen, but it didn't really work the way he was trying to do. But you're right. It could work. There's not that many games left, but he's right.
Well, the end of the 2023 season with Kyron Jones, they were humming. They were running the football. They were throwing the football. That's the offense you needed to be running. And, you know, credit to Tyler Bowen. That's what he was doing. And then they had that off season where he went and he worked out with Shedeur Sanders and Cam Ward, and he got to thinking maybe I'm an NFL quarterback. And Kyron early in the 2024 season tried to stay in the pocket and be that guy, when in reality that's not his skill set. And now it's the end of his last year of playing college football, and he knows it now, you know. And Phil Montgomery has always run a precision passing offense. So that was a weird hire. That was a bad hire to be your offensive coordinator when that's not the skill set of your quarterback. And I thought Phil was a little bullheaded earlier in the season. There was a game, I can't remember which one, where they threw it 34 times and ran it 31.
Yeah.
No. Then they go out against Cal. They run it 58 and pass it 18. That's the offense you should be running.
Agreed. And maybe that's what they'll do here final month. And maybe they tapped into that against Cal. We'll see. We'll see tomorrow. Could be a high-scoring game. Yeah.
Yeah, and I thought Kyron showed the willingness to run the football. I'm not sure he had that willingness early this year, and certainly not last year when he was hurt. But I think he knows now it's the last few games of his career, and, you know, let's go out there and do everything we can to win. So kudos to him.
And kudos the fact that he has played hard. You know, even when he's not playing well, he's tried to be a leader out there by example. I respect that. You know, he could have cashed it in like everybody else, but he hasn't done it. So
yeah, he's not going to go down in history as a great Virginia Tech quarterback, but he's certainly a guy. Well, like Al Clark, you can respect the hell out of Al Clark. Al was not a great quarterback, but he was tough as hell.
He
played
was
through injury. And I think Kyron will reside in that same space. And by the way, the teams that Al Clark quarterback for weren't that good. The 97 and 98 teams, the offenses weren't good.
No.
But everybody respects Al, and I think Kyron will occupy that same space in years to come where people respect the effort. The career just didn't go as great as everybody wanted it to.
Well, I'm telling you, it's a month's left. There's so much at stake. Tech's going to find out a lot more about what's going on as well. So we got a lot going on here. So we'll see. We'll see how it plays out, and I hope you have a good weekend, my friend.
You too, and I think the whole James Franklin thing, your window it's not even a week longer, Rick. It's, you know, if you don't hear anything, I'd say by late next week, that Virginia Tech's moving on, I think.
Yeah, and I think that's the way it'll be too. I think they'll be like, you know what? We gave you everything we had. We're going to look elsewhere. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's okay. And there are a lot of good coaches out there, and they just need to
100%.
find one and make the
They're
good
going to
hire.
get a good coach. They're going to get a good coach. That's what I try to remind people. But
Yeah.
anyway.
All right.
All right, brother. Take care, man. Have a great weekend.
All right, man. Appreciate you having me on.
Thanks, brother. There you go. Good stuff as always. That is Will Stewart from Tech Sideline. And they do a great job. Watch their podcast and watch their coverage all the time. We love Will. We love Will. Hit us up. By the way, I'm way behind here on the chat. Mike Ashley joins us coming up here. Thanks for all the birthday wishes. Thank you. I thanked everybody during the week for your condolences. It's been a tough week. Beyonce lost her mom, and it was unexpected. And it's been getting her out of town yesterday, and then me heading that way. It's life comes at you pretty damn hard a lot of times. So make sure you tell the people you love them. Call your mom. Call your mom if she's still around. If you're still fortunate enough to have your mom around, call her. Where are we here? So Jason wants to have a tailgate party at the Tech Sideline Studios. Oh, I'm sure Will would not mind that at all. I mean, we could do that. We could set up BDST outside, and we could just have because they won't let me in their studio. What if somehow Tech wins 6 games and gets to a bowl? If James Franklin is still involved, Philip Montgomery won't be considered. But, how could you ignore all that? Thanks, David. Appreciate you, brother. Thanks for the birthday wishes. And UVA, people talking about UVA's breaks. Yeah, 100%. Hey, Hot Rod, thanks, man. Appreciate you. But, yeah, all those things are true. All those things can be true. But what Will said is right on the money. At some point, like I said, and I said this to open up the show, let's don't put all this as if, oh, my God, Tech, if they don't get James Franklin. Tech is one hell of an attractive job. Tech has Bruce Arians and Bud Foster. They know what the hell they're doing looking for a coach. I mean, this isn't just Tech sitting there playing the victim, like, the scared, what happens if James Franklin rejects us? You move on, like Will said. Okay. We tried. We gave you everything, but Jimmy was being Jimmy. Tech's going to get a good football coach. You may not like the name, and everybody who's dead set on Franklin, if something were to happen, and I'm not saying it's going to, Will's not saying it's going to. We're just trying to give you scenarios. That's all. We're trying to tell you how things work. But I do believe that right now you should not be panicked if anything hasn't happened up to this point going into the weekend. But to Will's point, if we're here next Friday and there hasn't been any movement there, that likely means there's not going to be. And at that point, you understand Tech's done all their due diligence, and it's going to be easy to blame them. And that doesn't necessarily mean that that's accurate. Let them go through the process. This is a heck of an attractive place to be in a league with a much easier path to the playoff that just has this massive financial commitment that's already told the coach you're going to bring in your GM. Yeah, I know the whole Witt thing's screwy. I don't think that's going to last too much longer. So my guess is that they're going to be okay. If it's not James Franklin, I'm going to go out on a limb. There's a lot of good coaches out there. I'm standing by what I would tell them to do. Bob Chesney, Matt Roan, get them both in here. And then Virginia Tech is good and on the right path from day one. Would it be sexy, like Will said? No. Would it garner the morons on game day to sit there and talk about them? No. Who cares? They had a chance with Kurt Signetti. They could have done something there 4.5 years ago. He's now the best coach in college football with a team who's going to challenge Ohio State maybe for the national championship. He took them to the playoff in year one. Doesn't have to be a big name. It can be a coach who fits the profile of what Tech needs. Bob Chesney's a hell of a football coach. Matt Roan is one hell of an athletic director. He's a superstar. If Virginia Tech doesn't hire Matt Rome, some other Power Four is going to. It's just a matter of time. It's not if, it's when that happens. He's a rocket ship. And either you grab a hold of it, right, and you try to jump in the cockpit of that thing and you want to steer it, or you're going to watch it go somewhere else like Tech has done before in the past with folks from JMU. But if it's James Franklin, it's a home run in a lot of ways for Tech. If it's not James Franklin, ultimately, it's not the end of the world. People are going to perceive it. I'm going to hear about it here. Will's message boards are going to be just flooded with it. He doesn't mind that. But I'm just saying, people are going to be, oh, Tech screwed up again. No. There are no indications they're doing anything about the search incorrectly. Because everybody talks about this committee, but the people that are going out vetting these coaches are two guys. I know that from what I'm being told. And that's all you need, those two guys. Are they bringing information back? Sure. Are they saying, hey, check into this? What do you think of this now that we've given you the information? Because most of that committee has no idea about trying to hire a football coach. Eddie Royal knows football, but he has no idea about trying to hire a football coach. Bruce Arians does. Bud Foster does. And Whit Babcock's hanging around because he knows all this stuff with agents. He knows how to deal with Jimmy or talk to Jimmy. Nobody else over there is in place to do it. That's why he's remained. And for those of you that have been so worried about, what do you mean to say that Whit's still going to be the guy to say yes or no? No, he's not. He's just there to do what he needs to do until this thing is completed. And then I think he's done. All right, let me let Ashley know that he has got his invite. Mike may have slept in today. And then we'll have him on here. Mike Ashley for the open mic. I know there was something he wanted to talk about today. So we'll see. Let's run through our sponsors again. We want to thank them all. Thanks to Professional Door Incorporated. We want to thank them for everything. They're looking for people, by the way, and they need people now. Go see Travis Williams right across from New River Community College, Route 100 in Dublin. 38 years in business. They do garage doors better than anybody. They want you to start your career with them. They've expanded. They've gotten a lot of jobs. They need good people, and Travis wants to train you. Don't go in there thinking you know more than him because you don't. Be humble. Go learn a trade. National Bank member FDIC, the exclusive banking partner BDST YouTube. I've been with them for 35 years. Thanks, Larry. Our attorney, Ryan Pry, BDST fan question of the week. Not the BDST legal counsel like Richie Davis, but still another great attorney that we like being associated with. Trust and estate planning. And 47% of you think that sports is still legitimate after all the betting scandals. Pulaski County Sports and Entertainment, the presenting sponsor of BDST. Thank you so much, Jonathan Sweet. Can't wait till the complex is done. Get up there and do some shows live. That's what we're going to try to do. Family Fencing, first sponsor that we had, our studio sponsor here in lovely Reiner. Everything's finer in Reiner, including the diner. We don't have a diner, by the way. Give them a call, 540-200-8294. Family Fencing at RV.com. They're going to work through the winter, too. Mark Hundley, McClellan Chiropractic, sponsor of our chat line. Go get your back cracked, whatever's wrong. He's got all the latest technology. We mentioned Travis. He did that. Charles Lee, terrific. They're the best. Little River Heating and Air, 540-553-2971. You're getting ready to use your heat a lot. It means your electric bill is going to go up. Call Charles. Let him come check it out. Just let him come make sure you're good to go. He can save you a hell of a lot of money this winter. Go buy your next vehicle at Harvey's GM from Brad Harvey. I brought my last 3 trucks from him, vehicles, SUVs, whatever. I'm not a small car guy. I got to have a SUV. When I need another one, guess who I'm going to? Brad Harvey. Here you go. Here's a living example. Yesterday, this stupid light came on. My engine, I don't know. It means a lot of times Jeeps will do that when the weather gets colder. I called Michelle down in the service department. Hey, Michelle's Rick. Hey, Rick, what are you bothering me with now? I have a great lady. Michelle's great. Their service department is great. Neil and Michelle, the two of them. And I said, I started my Jeep up, and the engine light is on. And I read up on it, blah, blah, blah. It's usually 9 out of 10 things aren't serious. She goes, just bring it down. I'll put, I get the code. They put you on the code machine. And sure enough, it's something about cold air that's filtering through the gas cap, and it's just like, okay, we tried to seal it again. It's just something that's going to be annoying for a while until it corrects itself. But you see, instead of like thinking, oh my gosh, I've got thousands of dollars worth of damage potentially, they just put me up on the thing and sit there and punch the code in and let me watch it all process about what it could be. That's how good they are at Harvey's. They're awesome. They're awesome. NRB Super Bowl is having boogie bowling tonight on Halloween. You should go. 382-5525. Finish with the kiddos and go take them. That'd be fun, man. I wish I could. And Lawson's Mobile Home Supply. Give James a call, 540-381-8011, 300 North Franklin Street in Christiansburg. We await Mike Ashley. Rick, instead of Jimmy, should I just talk about myself in third person? Ricky likes Jeeps. Ricky likes Harveys. I don't know where Mike is. Where is Mike? Let's see if he's responded here. Who knows? I'll send him another invite in case he did not get that one. Let me do that right now. Mike sometimes will sleep in. Sometimes Mike may have had a pre-Halloween celebration. Jen the Gamecock Girl. Jen, if you're ready, we might get you on a little early here. Let me know, Jen, if you're still in chat. We never mind talking to you for an extended period of time. I'll give Mike a little more time here. I'm thinking he may not be awake because he never not responds. So, yeah. Hey, there you go, Morris. You and I both leaving on a jet plane. Don't know when I'll be back again. I know when I'm back. Every FBS school in the nation will have fired their coach. Oh, hang on. Man, this thing's just being funky. There we go. Woo. Maybe it's something, the bugs in Halloween. Maybe that's what it is. It's my Halloween. Let's see here. It's my Halloween. Can't beat that with a stick. I don't know where Mr. Ashley is. We'll see what Mr. Ashley has to say. I mean, he retweeted everything last night and liked it, and I think he's probably asleep. I mean, I can't say I blame you. I mean, the show does start at 6 a.m. So I can't sit here and say that I blame him. So hit me up in the McClellan Chiropractic chat line, or hit me up on the Professional Door text line, as many of you have. So my final message about James Franklin, Virginia Tech is this. Tech is in more control than you think. When I received that text, and I'll read it again in case those of you might be in here now that you missed earlier. I mean, Big Ten guy has been all over this because they hear everything. They know everything. As a matter of fact, at the school he is at, Jimmy Sexton is the agent for the head coach. So, Franklin doesn't have anything going on other than Virginia Tech. Virginia Tech knows this. He's not a candidate at LSU. He's not a candidate at Florida or Arkansas. He's not a candidate at Oklahoma State or anywhere like that. Would Auburn become an issue? Yes. Florida State, he would like that. They have no interest in him. Bruce Arians knows that. He's a guy that wants to prove Penn State wrong. Virginia Tech is very similar to the place where he just left, Happy Valley, Blacksburg. Tech's point is this. The last two things that they've tried to do at football have failed. So they're taking a big swing here. It's exactly how it's worded right here. Is Jimmy leveraging for money for Auburn? Maybe. But that's the one job that probably he would like Franklin to end up at if it's not Blacksburg. It's not open yet. And for James Franklin, he's got $50 million. So if this dance goes on for another week, I think Will's right on the money. I think it's going to end. But I don't think that's going to happen. Exactly. There you go, Paul. There you go. Just want you to know that it's over. We're leaving. Bruce Arians and Bud sitting on the saloon porch. Well, bye. Yeah, I think Tech has a lot more hand. Maybe not as much as George for a while had with the piano player. But I think they've got a lot more hand. A lot more hand than you think. I really do. I really do. But it's one thing to try to leverage a school with people who may not know what's going on. That's why I think like I said, that I don't like a whole committee thing, but the fact that Bruce and Bud are involved is really, really good. Really, really good. Well, there he is.
Sorry.
Hey,
sorry.
It's okay,
Sorry.
Bucky shirt guy.
Yeah, sorry. I was going to wear a coat and tie. I got in late last night back here to Virginia, and my alarm didn't go off this morning. So here I am.
That's okay. I figured you were up late last night.
Yeah.
You okay? Everything good?
Yes. Other than, time out,
Yeah, 100%. What's going on in Mike Ashley's world today? You're back in Virginia.
Yes. Everything depends on the doctor appointments. I had to get back today for a doctor appointment.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
So
Everything good though, right? You good?
Yes. They can't keep me down. I know we're running late here, so maybe I should just go straight to open mic.
Yeah, go into it, man. That's all right. Yeah. Hey, any Ashley's better than no Ashley.
Yeah, I am so sorry.
No,
anyway.
You're fine, brother. Don't worry about it. You're fine.
All right. Well, here you go.
Yes, please.
Time for a ranting and raving. I think about Alex Karras when I see field goal attempts. You guys remember him? The Detroit Lions defensive lineman, Monday Night Football's fat guy in a little coat, Mongo and Blazing Saddles, Webster's dad on TV. He used to call the NFL influx of soccer players kickers. They're all kickers now. The Mark Mosleys, Lou the Toe Grozas, George Blandas, straight-on conventional kickers are gone, and soccer guys seem to decide every game in the NFL these days. Sort of ironic since so many soccer games always end in ties. And remember, kids, when betting soccer, the over-under is always 1. Through the first 7 NFL weeks, kickers were connecting on 85% of their attempts, 71% from kicks of 50 yards or more, and 60% from 60 yards or more. That's just too good. I should have seen this coming when I was a kid lining up my electric football guys. Those kickers were in range from 110 yards with that short, sweet stroke. The arguments over whether the ball actually went through the goalpost or over the extended H's the older goalpost, those ended a lot of games and were just a precursor for what we're seeing now. Come to think of it, back then when I lost those electric football games, I was a little precursor. A kicker I covered at Maryland, Nick Novak was quoted in a story recently explaining the difference in the way the K balls, those are the kicking balls, are handled pregame. Kickers, punters, and equipment managers used to pick the balls out just before the game and had 45 minutes to get the balls ready and prep them. Now each NFL team gets 60 Wilson footballs at the beginning of the season and can break them in with wet towels, brushes, or squeezing the tips like Mr. Whipple before the balls get to the officials in pregame. And that's just the kind of minutia now that we all know about sports. I remember covering Virginia Tech during Bill Dooley's Peach Bowl days, and a friend of this program, Pulaski's Chris Kinzer, put together one of the great seasons any college kicker ever had. And if anyone had ever called Kinzer a keeker, he probably would have slugged me. That's okay. You just don't want Kinzer kicking you in the shins, if you remember the way. Anyway, he told me that his snapper, Roanoke Steve Hale, controlled the revolutions of the ball to the point where the laces landed in holder Jeff Balance's hands, and Balance just had to put the ball down, no turning the laces. I now know that's standard operating procedure at long snapper camps. Yes, long snapper camps. Heck, even the contestants on Pat McAfee's college game day kicking challenge are booting the ball through the uprights at an incredibly high rate. I love those moments on that show. If I had won that contest and had that money when I was a student, Deli Mart could never have closed. As a professional scribe, I always wanted the games that came down to field goals to end on a make rather than a miss. Writing about heroes is much more fun than writing about goats. The animal kind, not the greatest of all kind time. I guess it's good we remember the Jim O'Briens and Adam Vinatieri's more than we remember. Scott Norwood and pick a Florida State kicker from the Bobby Bowden years. I've always been upright, uptight. When I was a kid, there was a porch swing in the yard on the homemade iron post my dad had built. I used to kick over it for extra points or field goals after simulating NFL action in my backyard, usually in slow motion. The neighbors thought I should be in concussion protocol. I told them I was just a little short and wide left.
Good stuff, as always. Good stuff.
Yeah, even if we do a little overtime.
You love kickers. You love kickers.
Me and Alex Karras. It was fun. Remember, I think Alex Karras hated kickers so much because if you remember, one of the highlights you always see him in is Tom Dempsey's 63-yard field goal to win the game at the end. The Saints beat the. I always wondered if that had anything to do with his distrust of those guys.
It had to be. 100%. I'm going to ask you real quick before we let you go. Our BDST fan question of the week. You ready?
Okay.
Do you still think our sports that we watch are legitimate with the things that's going on in the NBA and the NFL officiating, which reared its head again last night, and nothing's done to correct it, and the mafia talk? Do you still think everything – how much do you still think the majority of what we're watching is legitimate competition?
Oh, the majority is. Yes. Otherwise there would be a lot more of this stuff. I mean, there'd be more going on, but then again, I'm a kid that used to go to Mid-Atlantic Championship Wrestling at Starland Arena. So, woo!
Good stuff. All right, brother. You have a good weekend. Hey, let me know how the doctor thing goes.
No, it's not that serious, but we'll
okay.
We're great.
Good.
Just had to be back here in Virginia. So anyway, and look, I got my set fixed a little bit here. Got the dogs playing poker behind me.
I like that. It's good stuff.
All right. Goober says, hey.
All right. Hey to Goober. Be good, brother. Take care, man. Mike Ashley. I don't know if LSU is a good option or not for BDS. I don't know what's going on down there. Now, they've had a lot of coaches win national titles, 2 of which were fired. Nick Saban left. They fired Les Miles. They fired Coach O. And when the governor has the AD removed, which happened last night, it's going to take a special dude to go down there. I don't know who that is. I don't have the answer. Yeah. Yeah. Alex Karras on Webster. First thing I saw him in acting was right after his professional playing career. He he was on a MASH episode where he was this big soldier, and he was like, Hawkeye took care of him, and he would go around protect Hawkeye. LSU was a great option until the latest drama. I mean, it'll be interesting to see what happens down there and who ends up trying to brave that whole thing. Like I said, you may have big-time jobs like that have all this money surrounding it. When was Florida's last national championship? Urban Meyer, right? I mean, it's easy to look at these jobs in the SEC and say, hey, that's a good job. That's a good job because of all the money. But is it really a good job? Your coaching pool is extremely limited at those places. It's a little more broad than it is at LSU. Florida is. It's a more broad down in Gainesville, but it's a similar type of atmosphere. I mean, everybody's saying these are good jobs, but for these coaches, it's 2 years and then you're out the damn door. There's no plan in place anymore. Now, people are going to say, well, if you have a good buyout, it doesn't matter. True, but that's up to the schools to try to correct. That's not up to the coaches. The coaches are just going through doing how the market's presented itself. And if you are a coach at a G5, certainly you look at a power job as being an immense step up. Absolutely. But if you've been an established guy at a P4, you kind of know the business a little bit. I mean, you wouldn't do a sideways head glance at what's going on at LSU. You think LSU is still the same type of job it was a week ago with everything that's happened? And I don't mean firing Brian Kelly because that was going to happen. I mean, the governor, the AD, that bizarre, and then now he's out. Who's going to go down there and be the new AD? Everybody worried about Tech's situation, and rightfully so. Hey, Pat, good morning. Thank you, Wes. Appreciate that. Have a scoop on me, maybe 2 scoops. I've lost my train of thought. What's going on? But in any event, we'll see. Oh, I was saying that everybody's worried about, the structure of WIT, and rightfully so. Tech has kind of created this scenario for no reason. I mean, it should have been a dual announcement on that Sunday after Old Dominion. Shouldn't have just been like it has been. It's caused all this angst and made fans upset. Yeah. What's going on at LSU? Who's going to be the new AD there? I mean, basically, you're now being told that all the outside sources around Baton Rouge's program are controlling everything. Who's going to be the AD? Who's going to be how's that going to work? I'm going to be very curious to see how all that plays out and who they're able to get. I think, to answer your question, Prometheus, I think we're going to see who they're able to get that's going to tell us how good of a job that one in particular still is to all these Jimmy Sexton clients. Now, Sexton might be able to leverage that into more money, but I don't know. But again, you have no AD there. He lost his job last night. The LSU's presence clearly controlled by the governor. I mean, do you want your politicians to be that hands-on to where you're getting people fired? The coach, now the AD. I mean, you think it's a show at Blacksburg with Witt still hanging around? What do you think that is down there? I mean, take out the SEC part and take out all the money. Let's just talk about that whole environment. That takes the word toxic to a totally different level. And I think it's going to take a very special person to go down there and absorb all that. Not only now from a head football coach, but from the AD's perspective. Thank you, Hokey Gal. Appreciate that. Very nice of you. You think LSU has a better chance of being a group of five guy? Well, there's always going to be an ego that thinks they can solve it. These coaches have massive egos. So there's always going to be some coach that thinks, well, I'm not going to let that happen to me. But there's no bigger ego than Brian Kelly. None. And he got shown the door. He wasn't bigger than the aura of LSU. I don't know if a group of five guy can handle all that smoke. Are they prepared? Depends on the personality. Again, we don't know all these things. Thanks, Chris. Appreciate you, brother. Thanks for the birthday wishes. It's going to be very curious. That's why it's like a movie. It's like drama, man. It's like it's unfolding. And we're just sitting around. Oh, boy. Okay. Who's going to do this? Boy, glad that's not here. It's going to be very interesting. Nothing like getting a birthday text from your daughter, by the way. That just happened. I got to show you this because we are family here on the show, right? The daughter who gets it, look, she sent me a Freddie Mercury birthday meme here. Knowing Queen's my favorite band. That's awesome. Needed that. That's good stuff. Good stuff. Jen the Gamecock Girl joins us here momentarily. Good stuff. Good stuff. Yeah, it does give new meaning to the term Death Valley. Prometheus says maybe we should get our governor to fire Witt. Well, it's funny. That's a good line. That's a good line. All right, joining us now on the program, she is the first lady of BDST. Oh, my goodness, she's got that. She's got her game eye black on. Wow, it's Jen the Gamecock Girl. What's up?
I am Jackie Bradley Jr., Gamecock Great for Halloween.
So you already have your costume on?
I do. I wanted y'all to see it, but you can't really see it that much, so I tried.
What is that? Is that a baseball jersey?
It is. It's Jackie's jersey. Can you see? I don't know.
No, you got to back up. Okay, you walk back a little bit there. Oh, I see. Yeah, very nice.
So I'm excited to represent because he's a Virginia Gamecock as well. He's from the Norfolk area, I guess. Prince William, maybe Prince George. I don't remember all the princes and who's where, and he's down by Norfolk in Virginia Beach. He's from there.
Awesome.
What do you do when you're texting somebody?
Yeah, my daughter just sent me a really nice birthday text.
And here I was ready to attack. I was like, what woman are you writing right now?
Look, happy birthday, man. Look, she knows I'm a Queen fan, so she sent Freddie Mercury. Yeah, there you go. That's good.
Okay.
All right. So how are you? Everything good? Everything's good in the world?
Everything's all right. Yeah.
Hey, how's Shane doing?
Well, probably not as all right, I would guess. He's had some heat on him.
It's going to get hotter after tomorrow.
Kind of looks that way. Go Cox anyway.
I always ask because you're around it now. What's the latest vibe? What do you got? Let me know.
I think it cooled a little bit this week because we played better. Now, we did choke the win ultimately against Alabama, but overall we played better and we were competitive in the game. And I think people feel some relief with that. So
how much heat did he take for the we just let him score. That didn't go over well. I know what he was trying to do. I get it.
Mm-hmm.
But he got a lot of criticism. He got a lot of pushback for that comment.
Well, I don't know. It didn't play that way here. I don't know where you saw that, but
well, I was looking at the responses of the post. That's where I saw it. But
here didn't play that way. I mean, I think some people were upset, but I think most people understood that was
and me personally, now I didn't have a problem with it. I knew what he was trying to do. The guys, they're going to run it down to 3 seconds, and the guy's not missed a field goal, so he's not going to miss the field goal.
Correct. So to even have a chance in it, that was necessary. I think anybody who's more educated about how the game works got that. I don't know. But I did not hear a bunch of negative about that. People are still frustrated with the offense, but Shula called the best game he's called all year. The O-line played better, had fewer penalties. So I think as long as you can see some improvement, some trends of improvement, people calm down a little bit. And I feel like that's what happened this week. It was a pretty calm week in the media.
You know what's helping him? And I really mean that. I don't think he's going to lose his job now because I think there's not going to be nearly enough candidates that's going to be able to fill these jobs. There's still 3 major jobs that are going to come open here soon, maybe 4. So, look at you. You put happy birthday, Ricky, in there. Oh, that's so sweet. That eye blight does something for you. I like that.
Well, what's funny about it is I forget that I need to wear my glasses more often, as you know. So when I put them on, it's going to probably smear all this all over my face. So
does something for me too. I like that. But
thanks. It was a fun last minute decision. I wanted to wear something because we're dressing up at the School of Music today.
Oh, okay.
And I just thought, well, I need something kind of spirited, go Cox, but on brand still.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Your probably answer is more updated. When's the last time you went to an actual legitimate Halloween party dressed up? I would guess for you, it was probably like last week.
No. It's been a few years.
Really? A few years?
Yeah.
1, 2.
It was before COVID.
Oh, okay. Before fake COVID? Yeah.
We're not talking politics. We're just
before the big experiment. Yeah.
We're just talking about
what did you
period
go,
of time.
What did you go as? What did you go as?
Good question. I've been Marilyn Monroe a few times. I like Marilyn Monroe. That's kind
really
of go to.
Do you have the white dress on and everything?
No, I've done another outfit similar to that. Some fishnets, like kind of a 50s vibe.
So you don't stand over the vent and do the old dress blow. Oh no, I didn't know that was going to
happen. No, I've done that. I have been a Clemson fan a few times. I have pictures of that. I should send you some pictures.
Yeah, I'd like to see your Clemson Halloween uniform. Yeah,
I had camo pants and a Clemson jersey that I bought at TJ Maxx because it was like a cast-off jersey and it was cheap. So bought that.
Wow, you love Clemson.
The students really liked that when I wore that. They thought it was funny.
All right, you want a non-South Carolina question?
Okay.
Where do you think your boy Lane's going to end up? Is he going to stay in Oxford? What do you think? He's got the world. The world is his oyster right now, and he knows it. And he's going to play into it. What do you think?
I don't know. Skinny Lane has changed because he's all into yoga and lifestyle, and I know he had that presser where he said, it's not about the money because he's so rich already, and he said, it really needs to be somewhere that's a great fit. So I don't think it'll be anywhere north. I think he would stay south geographically. I think maybe FSU potentially, if that does open, which it appears like it might. Or where else would be good lane? Would he look at LSU? I don't know.
I'm sure he'll look at it.
Yeah.
Chaos down there. Maybe he has the kind of ego that fits it. I don't know. You know where I think he ends up if he goes somewhere?
Where?
Tallahassee. Keep an eye.
Okay.
Keep an eye out.
Well, I mean, I feel like too. Yes, I feel like he will stay south because I think he really likes
No
this
question.
living and the vibes, and I just don't see him trying to freeze in the winters and all that.
No,
it's nice down south. You should come down here.
I know. I do. I'm coming down there again. We need to set up the same scenario. We play you guys again.
Are you going to stay here? Is Neil going to stay? Both?
I think so.
Okay.
I don't know. I'll find out. Yeah.
Tell him he's invited if he wants to deal with my cat again.
Okay. That's right. I will.
I know he had to share the couch with her, so I don't know how he feels.
I will. Yeah. I think that's the same setup. Yeah.
Okay.
I think so.
You're always invited.
Okay. Thank you. You ready? How did we do? I have no idea how we did last week. Everything happened. I got the bad news about Janet's mom, so I didn't really watch any football last Saturday.
Well,
literally not a game.
I'm sorry, and I hope you'll pass along my sympathy to Janet as well. I'm so sorry about all that.
I will.
I don't know if I didn't take good notes. I'm going to confess this, but I only had one game different, and the game that we had different was the Mississippi State game.
Is that it? Okay. I don't even know. And
I had, according to my notes,
yeah,
you had picked Mississippi State, and I had picked Texas. So if that is all correct, that doesn't seem right to me, but that's what my notes say.
Wow.
If that is correct, then I'm just down one game now going into week 10.
Well, I'll take your word for it. I mean, that's fine. That's fine. All right. You ready to get into it for this week?
Well, some of these, I don't know. Some of these, okay, but we're going to do it.
We're going to start tonight. North Carolina at Syracuse. I haven't been to New York in quite a long time. I know that once we're done with this game, that Jordan wants to go to the big city, so we might be up here for several days. Can't wait to hit the shops early for Christmas. It's going to be great. Carolina's playing better the last couple of weeks. They nearly won at Cal. They should have won at Cal. They fumbled in the end zone. They came about, this much short against UVA in overtime. What do you think? The Q's have been reeling since they lost their quarterback.
Yeah, I just don't think they can do it without their QB. I think, have they lost 4 in a row, maybe?
Yeah, they're really hurting, Syracuse. Yeah, they're really hurting.
But the line on this is tighter than I thought. I think it's 2.5 for Syracuse, maybe. Is that right?
Is that where it is? Oh, no, I'm looking it up right now. Yeah, that sounds, yeah. 2.5. The Q's got crushed by Tennessee. They lost that home game to UConn in overtime. They beat Colgate. They beat Clemson, and then they lost their quarterback.
Clemson. It's not Clemson.
Clemson. Got destroyed by Duke. Got destroyed by SMU. Got beat up by Pitt. Duke and Pitt were both at home. Georgia Tech ran them out of the ballpark last week. Ooh, my goodness, that's a reeling program. I think Carolina's going to go in there and win. What do you think?
I have North Carolina to win.
Should I pick them? I'm going to go Carolina.
Again, North Carolina?
Yeah.
North Carolina.
I'm sorry. Yes, I'm sorry. My apologies. North Carolina.
Okay. I just wanted to clarify.
The Yankees of Carolina. Yes. All right. You know I love him. Diego Pavia. And Texas Longhorns hosting Vanderbilt.
Okay, how long is it going to be before you say Texas is soft?
Well, that is always true. You know, I don't know what happened against Mississippi State.
Well, Arch might have a concussion. Arch is concussed. I believe he's in the protocol.
Vanderbilt's going to win. Vanderbilt's going to beat them.
I have Vanderbilt as well. I never thought this day would happen, but it's here.
Miami at SMU. The Canes going down to Dallas to take on a very disappointing SMU team.
You and I've been burned by picking SMU a few times. I'm not picking them ever again, I don't think. Miami.
Miami's 10.5-point favorites. They're a lot better. So, yeah, I got Miami winning the game. Boy, before the year, this was like the game. People are highlighting this thing as a national title preview. Penn State, oops, at Ohio State. Buckeyes and the Nittany Lion who Still just trying to get through the season here without their coach.
Well, how mad would you be if preseason you bought these tickets and they were like $2,000 each or some crazy?
I know, before the year, right.
But of course, Ohio State, and I can't even imagine. I think the line on that one is 20 or something like that.
It's 21. Yeah, it's 21. Yeah.
Okay.
Brutus will be very happy on Saturday. Yes. Brandon says Rick finally convinced Jen to get on the Pavia and Vandy train. Yeah.
That's true. It took me a while, but I still don't really love him as a person, but he's killing it. So
yeah. They played pretty well down in Columbia, by the way. Vanderbilt did.
They did, but Sellers was out, but without offense happening, I don't know how much difference that really made. But
the world's largest outdoor cocktail party, but they refuse to call it that anymore, kind of like the Red River Shootout because of, reasons. Georgia at Florida.
I love your commentary on these things here. Florida's had a lot of turnover problems. I think they had 5 against LSU. They're not good when the heat's on with it. I take Georgia.
Yeah, I got Georgia. Texas Tech and Kansas State, Red Raider and Wildcat. Most expensive roster in college football this year, by the way, belongs to Texas Tech. Nobody else. Texas Tech spent more money. They wanted everybody to know they spent, $50-some million on their players.
Right, but Vanderbilt didn't spend the most money in the SEC, and look at them.
Yep.
Texas Tech, but I think K-State could maybe cover on this.
I'm going Wildcats at home. Woo!
I love your enthusiasm for the Wildcats.
Virginia heads out to the left coast to take on the California Golden Bears. What you got?
I mean, home advantage isn't that great on the West Coast. I like Virginia.
California.
You going for that, huh? A little upset.
I'm going for the Bears, yeah. I think Virginia's luck runs out on Saturday.
Well, I feel like they had the brush with it at UNC, and now they're going to reform and repair.
Christopher says it's Carolina and the state beneath us, is what he says. It's hard but fair.
I mean, if you're going to base it on football performance, North Carolina doesn't have too much going on right now either. So,
well, neither does South Carolina.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm admitting that. You're
Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech and North Carolina State. I don't even know why the hell I put this one on here. Of course, we're going to pick Georgia Tech.
Yeah.
It's been a long week. Who knows? Georgia Tech. Why is that one on here? What's the spread of that one? It's got to be like 50.
5.5, but Georgia Tech.
Is that all?
Yeah, I thought it'd be more.
Okay. Oklahoma at Tennessee. Sooner Schooner, Volunteer. Checkerboard end zones.
Well, poor Mateer, he hasn't been the same since his hand surgery. I can't buy in until he's healthier. Tennessee. No. Plus Tennessee, I told you, is the loudest place I've ever been in my whole life.
I know. I've been there twice. Back when I was a UCLA fan, I saw him play there twice. Rocky Top, I'm with you. USC, the Soiled Condoms, head into Nebraska to take on Matt Rule with that new contract. Wow.
Who do you like? What do you think?
Hang on. Let me look this thing up here. Where are we here?
This is another one that I'm a little bit iffy. I think I'm going to go USC, but I'm not totally sure yet.
I think I'm going to go Nebraska. They're going to celebrate Matt Rule. They're going to be so excited to be playing for him. Duke at Clemson. You going to wear your Clemson jersey tomorrow during this game?
I gave it away after.
Okay. After Halloween, you gave it away.
I don't keep orange things in my condo.
What you got?
Can you answer this for me before I pick? Has Duke ever won at Clemson? Duke football.
I don't know. Let's see.
Find out.
My guess would be no. I would say that's probably no.
But
Right.
until you know for sure it's a no.
Duke won at Clemson. Wait a minute. That can't be right. No, that's basketball. You gave me basketball. Let's see here.
Definitely not the same.
Wait a minute. Yeah, that's not right. That's not right. AI is not necessarily accurate. Here's the Duke
Right.
Clemson. It's 37-17-1, by the way, all time in favor of Clemson.
Okay.
But I can't find that particular stat. No, I cannot.
Well, here's the issue, though. Clemson's quarterback has a hurt ankle.
Yep.
Klubnik.
Yep.
And their top wide receivers out.
Yep.
So I'm gonna try Duke. This is a reach, but I'm gonna try it.
I like Duke a lot.
I just don't know if they can do it, but maybe I'll try to will it into existence.
I mean, they lost to Georgia Tech, but you know,
well, so
a lot of people are losing to Georgia Tech.
Yeah, Georgia Tech's good.
All right, I'm going to go Clemson at home.
Okay.
I think I'm going to lose that pick, but I'm going Clemson at home. All right, Wake Forest and Florida State. The Demon Deeks, man. I know. They play a really, really good brand of football. They are very well coached. They don't have nearly the talent. It's not even close, the talent differential in Tallahassee and in Winston-Salem. They're 5-2 coming in. Florida State, surprisingly, 11-point favorites in this game, coming off a bye. 4-game losing streak at home, and they're 11-point favorites over a team that's won its last 3 and only lost to Georgia Tech in overtime on a controversial no call. TP says Duke last won at Clemson in 1980. 4 times total. Look at that. See the peeps letting us know.
Yeah,
stuff.
thank you. Well, what do you think about my pick? You seem to know some stuff.
Who'd you pick?
Don? I went with Duke.
Oh, that's where you went with Duke. I went with Clemson.
Clemson.
Wake Forest, Florida State. Clemson. Sorry.
Wake Forest.
What do you think?
Wake Forest.
I'm going to go with Florida State, hoping they lose, because if they lose, then that means they'll probably run Mike Norvell out tomorrow, even though they said he's going to stay.
Wait, you want him to get run out?
Mike Norvell? Oh, yeah.
Are you a hater?
I want that. No, I have nothing against Mike Norvell. I just want that job to open because I want to see if my scenario with Lane Kiffin starts to pick up some steam.
Oh, I see. Okay. I get it.
Mississippi State or Arkansas. Now, I don't know what it is now, but when I put this one on here, it was a 1-point difference. That's the only reason it's on here.
I don't think it's moved much. I think it's 1.5.
Okay.
I'm going to go Arkansas at home.
I'm going to go Mississippi State on the road.
Man, they're having tough times, but
yeah, going Bulldogs. And now the final 2. Dun, dun, dun. The South Carolina Gamecocks, with the embattled head coach Shane Beamer, head down to Oxford, Mississippi, and a coach who's anything but embattled. As a matter of fact, he's probably getting that resume polished up now. Ole Miss, 12.5-point favorites over your South Carolina Gamecocks. 7-1 are the Rebs.
Mm-hmm. So, are you going to have any good food for your game watching this weekend? What you going to do?
I would too, Prometheus, by the way. He's putting money on Wake. Yeah, I would too. We both are going Mississippi. Again, the rule is I don't make Jen pick against the school in which she works that she loves. That's our rule. It's out of respect. I will never make her say that, for instance, in her mind, well, I know that in my heart I want South Carolina to win, but I understand that the two differences in those programs are really night and day. It's ridiculous how far they've fallen this year. Mississippi, across the board. All right, finally, Louisville, Virginia Tech tomorrow afternoon, 3 o'clock, Lane Stadium.
So I didn't see the end of Will Stewart's piece. Who did he pick for this?
You know, I didn't ask him this. We got on to other things, and we got some really good – I didn't get into it with him this week. I'm guessing they all picked Louisville. I can't imagine they picked Tech.
Yeah, I don't enjoy picking against Virginia Tech, but I kind of feel like I have to in this circumstance, and I hope that I'm wrong.
Yeah, certainly. Yeah, I'm going to go Louisville too. I think Tech can score. I think Tech will do some things, 100%. But boy, Louisville's got some big time, big play capabilities, man. And Tech, that defense has shown it can be hit with some big plays. So we'll see. All right. Well, that wasn't bad. We did okay. We got through there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Trying, but some of these I don't feel great about. But
no, I don't.
You
either.
never know. So
I made a couple of picks that I hope are wrong. I just want games to turn out a different way. Like Florida State, I hope Wake beats them. I don't think they will, but I hope they do. And SMU, I'd like to see SMU beat Miami. I don't want Miami to win that game. I think that'd be fun. But anyway.
SMU is not held up for us this year. You and I both have gone there a few times and been wrong with them. So
we have. Yeah. They've had a disappointing year.
Mm-hmm.
What about your Halloween tonight? Anything going on?
No, I'm going to go to the gym. This is like grown up, responsible me.
Going to the gym.
I will have cocktails tomorrow night. I'll make some bourbon cocktails at the condo while I'm watching the Ole Miss game. And I try to only have alcohol one time a week max for health reasons, and just trying to watch the weight, etc. So got to save it for tomorrow night.
Will there be how's the road tailgate work for you?
Oh, like what do I do?
For
this game, I'm just going to watch.
Is that a big crowd?
No.
Okay.
I need to watch alone to channel my energy to try to help the team. And it's just, I don't want people chit-chatting and asking me like, where are the napkins? And I don't want to host and do all that. I just need to focus. So
no, I'm with you.
I may have some neighbors over in Condo Town and do pregame, like a few drinks with them and some food. But once the game starts, I'm going to be like, hey, love y'all, but
get out the door.
It's time for me to go into solitude for a little bit.
Yeah. You're done. Bye.
Are you going to be, is everything kind of stabilized a little bit in your life? Are you going to be able to watch tomorrow or no?
No, I will not. I'll be traveling.
Okay.
No. It'll be a non-football weekend for me again, unfortunately. So
well, you're being a good fiance. That's what you should do.
Yeah. You don't want to be in this situation. You don't want to have to do it, but hey, it is what it is.
But you're being sweet. I'm proud of you. I know it's tough sometimes, but you're doing a good job. You're giving up your beloved football for
yeah. Won't get to keep up with high school, college, or probably the NFL this weekend. That's okay. It is what it is. Well, all right. Well, good luck tomorrow. Even though I don't think you're going to win, I always want them to do well for you. I know.
It hurts.
But you're going to wear that outfit. That you need to put the eye black back on tomorrow. Like just leave it on all day. Yeah.
Well, okay. I'll try whatever it takes, whatever superstition I need to embrace to help them do better. Hokies are showing some signs of life, but I try to help them as well. And the Commanders have been having those injury problems. So I'm trying to channel any good juju possible at this point.
And you got I like the old school Carolina script hat. That's a nice look.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It's from my era, so I figured I might as well embrace it.
Throwbacks always win. Throwback, unless you go too far back and we don't need 30s and 40s throwbacks. When you go back to the 60s, 70s, and like the NFL needs to do 70s and 80s, then you're going to win every time.
Yeah, I don't want to wear anything that the students are like, what is that? They don't know. And some of them, young peeps these days, I don't think they do cursive. So that's kind of weird for us. But of course, our Carolina people, they do know what that is. But, if I've heard other cases where they could not read any cursive at all.
What are those letters? I don't understand. What is she trying to do?
Do you want me to do the face?
Like, totally. I'm not into that vibe at all.
You love vocal fry. vocal fry.
Millennial Maggie there coming back. Yeah, Millennial Maggie. Okay. All right. You enjoy your game, and we'll talk to you next week.
Okay, darling. Hang in there and
We are.
hug your fiance Janet for me, please. Go Cox.
But she's already in Louisiana, so I can't. But you know,
Okay. Soon you will.
We'll soon. Yep.
Okay.
All right. Be good.
Happy birthday.
Thank you, dear. Thank you, dear. It's always better when I can spend it with you, even for a little while. So. Be a good girl.
Thank you.
I know that's impossible. I'll tell her that. That's just one of those things that'll never happen. But that's okay. It's okay. Hey, there we go. There we go. All right, wear the eye black tomorrow. Remember, if you win, it's because you wore the eye black.
I'll do it for you.
All right, thank you. Be good. Enjoy. There you go. Jen the Gamecock Girl of the program. Great stuff from her. I like the eye black. Wasn't that good? It looked good. All right, so we're just about done for the week. Monday, yeah, I'm good Monday. Back in town Sunday. Late. So, yeah, we're good on Monday. I believe we're going to have Mr. Grantham, Mr. Elmation, Jermaine Farrell. We'll see. Mike Young later in the week. Oh, no, Monday. I'm sorry. Yeah, Monday is Marty and Rags. Yep. Sponsored by Farm Bureau. So we're going to alter some things for Monday, but I'll get a hold of everybody and let them know. So we'll have that again on Monday. Marty and Rag scheduled between 7 and 8. Okay? So that's what we're looking at. We'll get you updated. Check out social media. Thanks again, everybody, for the birthday wishes. Much appreciated. And for all of your very positive thoughts with everything going on. Enjoy your Halloween. Good luck to all the high school football teams. As always, go Cougars, go Eagles, enjoy college football and your NFL on Sunday. Be good, everybody. Thanks to our guests today. Thanks to you. Remember, all of the expanded audience, please subscribe to the channel. Tell your peeps, and let's get that subscription base up. And we'll see you next week. Take care, everybody.